Alright guys, so this is Coach Agueta. I'm here with Coach Sumner and Coach Haigmaster. We're going to go over wrestling rules. We're going to go through this really fast and make it really basic, okay? So in a wrestling match, two wrestlers are going to put on anklets. One of them's going to be red, one of them's going to be green, and all wrestling matches start in the neutral position, which is standing up, okay? When you guys start, obviously you guys have to be stepping on the line, okay? So you actually have to be stepping on the line. It is part of the rules. We have to shake hands. Okay, and after you shake hands, you guys will wrestle. Now here, this is called neutral position. At the end of the first period, okay, the referee is going to flip a coin. It's going to be green or red, all right, whichever side lands, they're going to get to choose. Okay, so after the first period, they can choose to start again in neutral position, which is this position right here. Okay, let's say Coach Sumner here, she wins the toss. Okay, she can choose to be neutral. Okay, she can also choose to be bottom. Okay, so you can choose to be bottom, or you can choose to be top, or you can also defer. Okay, so we're going to go over all those positions in just a second. All right, so the first, besides neutral, the first option that you get is you can choose to go bottom. So then the referee would say, all right, go ahead and get set. When you go bottom, your knees have to be on that side of the square, nothing can be inside of the square. Okay, so your hands have to be actually in front. Right there, after you are set, the referee is going to say, are you ready? Are you set? Once you say yes, you cannot move. All right? Once she is set, now we go to our other option, which would be top. All right, Coach Haigmaster here is going to go ahead and cover. Now, when you guys cover, one knee, this knee here has to be down, and the knee that's in the back of your opponent, your knee has to be up. All right? Now, rules state that you have to grab the elbow with a C. Okay, so the C can be like this, which is what most people do. Coach, you should go ahead and show us. Right there. And the other hand has to be on the belly button. Right there. And then the referee would say, right, wrestling. Okay? The other option that you have as a wrestler on top, you can also have grab the elbow as in the C, but you can have it upside down. The reason why some wrestlers choose to go this way is so they have better access inside. Okay, so that is completely legal right there. All right. Most wrestlers will line up on the left side, but occasionally you will get your lefty that will line up on the right side. So that's all right, guys. And when wrestling, it's always a good idea when covering your opponent. If you choose to be on top, it's always a good idea to approach your opponent with your hands behind your back, and that way you get to choose exactly when the match is going to start. So it gives you that split-second edge. Okay, and also the referee knows that you're doing it correctly. So you put your hands behind your back, such as Coach Haigmaster is doing here. She walks up to her opponent. She puts her foot in the back where it needs to be, her knee on the side where it needs to be. Okay, head placement right in the middle of the spine. Okay, and then she's going to take one hand, grab the elbow, and as soon as that other hand touches the belly button, the referee is going to say, wrestle. Okay? And that's going to give the top person that split-second advantage into this wrestling match. And sometimes that makes a difference. The last one, of course, is to cut them loose. Okay, so you tell the referee like this that you're going to let them go. Coach, can you get straight real quick? There you go. And when they say wrestle, you just let them go. All right? All right, guys. Another option that you're going to get while wrestling is to defer. Now, the wrestler does have the option of in fact, the wrestler has to make the actual call. But, guys, especially in high school wrestling, whenever you're going to choose top, bottom, neutral, or defer, you must always look at your corner and let your coach decide for you, okay, because they have a certain strategy that needs to get done. Okay, so if you were going to defer, it's because your coach is telling you that you need to defer. Now, what does this mean? This just means that you're allowing your opponent to choose whether they want to be top, bottom, or neutral. Now, all right, guys, so now we're going to go over illegal moves. And the first illegal move that we are going to cover is a full Nelson. So what that means is if you get behind your opponent, you come underneath the armpits and above the neck. Coach Haigmaster is going to go behind. Coach Sumner here, go underneath there, and then go above the neck. That is completely illegal. In a wrestling match, as soon as your hands touch, in fact, if you even touch the ear like that, most refs will go ahead and stop it right there and then. Another illegal move that we need to cover is locking hands. That is a big one in folk style wrestling. Okay, So when an opponent is down, all right, you cannot lock hands around their waist. You cannot even touch. Okay, so your hands have to be like this, or attacking the neck, the knees, the inside of the thigh, the elbow, something else. You have to find another point of contact, but you cannot touch hands. On top, as soon as they lock hands like this, the referee is going to see that. You're going to call it like this, and they will allow you to wrestle a little bit to give you a chance. Pretty much you're getting a free move if you're on the bottom. You know that. If they stand up, you are allowed to lock hands. So if Coach Sumner here ends up standing up, Coach Headmaster can go ahead and lock hands. That's completely legal. But as soon as she returns to the mat, the person on top must let go. This next topic is more for advanced wrestlers, but it is important. If we are using what we call in wrestling arm bars, which is arms like this, okay, they must be in a 90-degree angle. Anytime the hand goes up above, the referee will stop it. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is fine. This is just nice and legal. As soon as it goes up, then they will go ahead and stop it. Okay. Also, I'll ask Coach Headmaster to do this right now. Once you hook an arm, such as a chicken wing, okay, you also your own hand can't go above. So right here on a chicken wing, this needs to be 90 degrees, but your own hand needs to also be 90 degrees, and you cannot go above. As soon as your hand does this, the good referee will go ahead and stop that for potentially dangerous. All right. So right there, as long as it is 90 degrees, it is fine. Okay. As soon as it goes up above, they will blow the whistle and they will stop that. Chicken wing, same thing. Right there, that is completely legal. As soon as their hand or your hand goes up above 90 degrees, they do consider that dangerous and they will stop the match. In wrestling, it's very common to use a crossface, and you can take this part of your hand and you can put it across your opponent's face. However, it is illegal to wind it. Okay, you can't wind it. Wherever it is that you're wrestling, wherever your hand is, it can go to your opponent's face, but the referee cannot see you wind it. That is completely illegal. All right. So here, Coach Headmaster is going to go ahead and do a legal crossface. Boom, right there. So if she's here on the elbow, from there she can go ahead and crossface. That's fine. Boom, no problem. But if she winds it and strikes her opponent, that is considered an illegal move. All right. All right, guys. So now we're going to move on to how to score in a wrestling match. Okay. It's now the first and most basic way to score is your takedown. Now, takedown is worth 2 points. So, Coach Headmaster here is going to get a basic takedown. There it is, a double. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to get behind your opponent. Okay, you will not get your points until you are behind your opponent. Now, sometimes your opponent obviously will fight, so you may still have your head caught or your leg caught or some part of your body still caught, still being controlled by your opponent. The only way that you're going to get your 2 points is if your hand goes around the waist. So one more time, okay? Shoes, okay, right there. As soon as your hand goes around the waist, the referee is going to award you 2 points. Okay, so this is going to be our escape. Okay, so you get 1 point escape if you are able to get away from your opponent and actually face your opponent. Okay, show the referee that your opponent is no longer controlling you. Okay, now this can happen when you're barely starting a round or you're placed in the bottom position and you can escape and get your point. Or maybe you were taken down. After you were taken down, then you somehow figure out a way to get away from your opponent and face them. You get 1 point escape. Okay, so Coach Sumner's going to go ahead and show us a little bit of just a basic stand-up, and then she'll get 1 point escape. And there, she would get 1 point escape for getting away from her opponent. Alright guys, so another way to score in wrestling, besides your escape, would be your reversal. Okay, so if you're on bottom, this can also happen when you're standing up, but most of the time it happens when you're on bottom. Okay, people call it a switch or a sit-out, or there's other ways, but if you want to get your reversal, okay, so that just means that you trade places with your opponent. So if you're down, you're going to somehow maneuver your way to where you're behind your opponent, and there you go, she gets 2 points reversal. So we're going to talk about back points, okay? So sometimes your opponent will take you down, or maybe you're starting a round where your opponent is on top, and they figure out a way to turn the bottom person. Now, they're not getting a complete pin, but they are putting part of your back on the mat. So many people, it's a misconception, many people think that your shoulders have to be on the mat, which they do. I've had kids say, oh, but coach, my shoulders weren't on the mat. It doesn't have to be your shoulders. If this part is on the mat, that's a pin. Any part of your back. Okay? But near fall happens when your opponent only gets this part, or this half, this part, or this half on the mat. Or if there's constant movement and they're not showing that it's a significant or a convincing pin, then the referee might just award back points. Okay, go ahead. Okay, she's going for a far side cradle here. Okay, so Coach Sumner is going to be wiggling, and she doesn't want to be pinned, so she's going to have to kind of maybe move towards her opponent. Actually, can you spoon her, Coach? Like there, kind of spoon her and try to look this way. There. So now that part of her back is on the mat, but this part is not. Okay? So what's happening here, the referee is going to get down, see that she's not flat on the mat, so she's going to count up to 5. Okay, so he's going to say 1, 2. Once you pass 2 seconds, you get awarded, for sure, you're going to get awarded 2 points. Once you're past 2 seconds. Okay? If you go up to 5, you're going to get 3 points. Alright guys, still talking about how to score in wrestling. Now this isn't necessarily scoring, but this is just winning the match. So if you're able to pin your opponent, then obviously the score does not matter. Okay, so Coach Sumner's on the bottom here. Coach Hagenmaster is going to go ahead and flatten her out. See, she's really good. She doesn't even have to touch her. She's going to go ahead and turn her onto her back. Okay, she's going to use a regular half right there. Now, once she is flat on the mat, the referee is going to see that she is flat. Usually, it's about a 2 count. The referee will just say, pin. Score does not matter. Actually, another way to win would be your tech fall. And basically what that is if you are beating your opponent by 15 points or more, then that just gets called a tech fall and they just stop the match. Alright guys, another thing that we're going to see very often during wrestling matches is that of stalling. Now for coaches, of course, stalling is very subjective, and unfortunately we cannot question stalling, okay? If a coach questions stalling, we will get a coach's warning. So stalling just means that you're avoiding competition, that you're trying not to wrestle. So basically the way it works is you're going to get 2 stalling calls, 2 stalling warnings, and on the 3rd stalling warning, they are going to award your opponent 1 point, and every stalling call after that will result in another point. Okay. Alright, so stalling would look like this. Coach Sumner is going to pressure Coach Hagenmaster. Coach Hagenmaster does not want to wrestle, so she's kind of killing time, kind of like that, and the referee notices that Coach Hagenmaster is just trying to kill time. He'll give red, say Coach Hagenmaster's red here, they'll say red. So sometimes we will be already on the mat doing some work down there, and whichever wrestler is on top, or in this case in an advantage point, they may be very active, very aggressive, looking for that turn, looking to score points, and the bottom wrestler is just kind of just hanging out, not wrestling back, kind of just trying to survive, and the referee sees that the bottom person is not actively trying to better their position, they're going to give them a warning. So can you put in maybe like a power half or something like that, and coach here is working. Bottom person here, she's kind of getting rocked, so she's not doing anything. The referee is going to say, gotta get to work, bottom, gotta get to work. And after he gives her a warning and still no improvement in position, he's going to give her a stalling call. Okay?
Alright guys, so just keep in mind we went over a few basics here today. Just also keep in mind that every year the rules are subject to change. Always refer to the manual and your coaches for the most up-to-date advice, and always keep track of your NFHS and UIL rules. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the mat.